on Salvage Hunters. Drew gets a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to buy a piece of British seaside history.
I want to buy a bit of Brighton pier.
200.
£200? Oh, my good God.
But will this queen of hard bargaining lower her prices?
No.
There's fun and frolics at Britain's oldest cinema.
Where the little guy sits. We could put these on our transit van.
Yeah, they look
cool. Might be a French dirty film.
But it's no laughing matter as a big order puts the whole team under pressure.
So just make sure, no problems. Important customer, so look after him.
Whoa.
There's a lot of pressure.
Gonna need a bigger boat.
Drew Pritchard is one of Britain's leading decorative salvage dealers.
Hello. You have got the best place in the whole world.
He scours the country in search of weird and wonderful objects.
Woo! That's a mantique.
There's nowhere he won't go and nothing he won't consider. With his wife, Rebecca...
Yeah, he was telling me he drove in a tank. Now, if that's not midlife crisis, what is?
And a team of renovators, he transforms thousands of items from junk into gems, which then find new homes in houses, bars, restaurants, or even lighting up your street.
Yeah.
It's Monday morning in North Wales, and salvage hunter Drew Pritchard is about to make a French connection.
Drew Pritchards. Hi. No, great, thank you, great. No, you don't sound French unless you're from the Birmingham area of France.
A new client in France who's renovating posh properties in Saint-Tropez is adding to his order, making it one of the biggest in the company's history.
All this stuff's available still. The transport, I think, would be the only issue. When do you need it all for? Ooh. Ooh. I'll jump on this now and see what I can do. Cheers, bye-bye. Bonjour, Rodney. Bloody fantastic. Fantastic little deal there. That guy's taken all that stuff to Saint-Tropez.
Excellent.
The whole lot. Big pile of stuff he's just added to it, and he's putting a reserve on that at the big, massive stained glass window. And any others we've got.
What a week.
The guy's building 3 houses in the south of France. What he's doing is he's using a lot of really good architectural elements, and he's basically bought all my really odd, big items. He spent £20,000 with us straight off the ball. You know, that's just brilliant for us. It saves little businesses like us. It's the greatest thing that can happen right now.
And Drew has an idea of how he may be able to add to the order. He's heard that a piece of British seaside history is up for sale, which could just fit the bill. But it means an 8-hour drive to Brighton.
The Brighton pier burnt down. A lot of the cast iron panels and interlocking sections of the panels were rescued, so I'm hopefully going to be able to get my hands on some of those. We've got loads of stuff down south to see, so...
Where are we going? Anywhere nice?
No.
Accompanying Drew is delivery driver and salesman Julian. It's not always the easiest of relationships, so it could be an interesting trip.
Julian's relationship and myself goes back a very long way, till I was about 15. I'm a friend of his sister's, really.
I thought you might want your water.
Is that mine?
Yeah. Well, it's certainly not mine, mate. It hasn't got hops in it. Hey, back. OK.
The guy we're buying for in France wants large quantities of stuff. Cast iron is one of the things he loves, so this would be great if we could buy a lot of stuff and then add to his order and fill it right up.
Drew and Julian arrive in Brighton, and after 8 hours in a stuffy van together, the bickering is well underway.
Stop. I'll do. Not spending money. Money, it's not for spending.
Sorry?
Money, it's not for spending.
I'm going to be spending money, mate.
Spending money on stuff. Waste of money.
Any idea where we're going?
We're going to the pier, aren't we?
Go to the pier.
Okay.
To the water.
Is it the west pier? Which one burnt? It's the one that burnt down, so is that the west
Absolutely
pier?
not. I don't know.
Wasn't that the hotel of Quadrophenia?
The Grand? Yeah.
Where's this screwed pier? Oh, there it is. Cool.
It's not that one.
It is that. It's that one. Look, it's the one that's been on fire.
The one that doesn't have any way of getting to it.
Drew is meeting Rachel Clark. She works for a charitable trust that's selling off the pier. Her job is to get as much money as possible to put towards a planned heritage centre.
What I'm hoping they've got is some really good decorative architectural castings. There's literally hundreds of tons of it, so there's got to be something left for me. Rachel. Hi.
Hello.
I'm Drew.
Hi, Drew. Nice to meet you.
This is the place?
This is the place.
Drew is the first dealer that Rachel has allowed in. It's an incredible opportunity, but one that could come with a hefty price tag.
Wow.
This is all material that was salvaged from the pier in the 1990s.
Yeah.
It was kept in here, and then we had fires in 2003. We lost our lottery funding. There's obviously not going to be a restoration.
OK.
What we hope will happen is that we'll raise funds to go towards our heritage centre.
Nice idea, yeah. My God, look at that. That's architectural salvage on a pretty grand scale. Yeah.
I think it is, yeah.
I want to buy a bit of Brighton pier. How often do you get to get a bit of Brighton pier? Look how much stuff, there's tons of it all the way around us.
Drew needs to get the measure of Rachel before he can find out just how much of this British landmark he can get his hands on.
There's an awful lot of stock here that our new client might like. So I'm looking for large panels, pillars, but particularly in pairs. So we'll see.
So this is part of the weather screen, which is original to the pier.
It's really exciting just to walk in here and see just history laid out in front of you. And beautiful items as well.
The pier opened in 1866. Its heyday was in the 1920s, when it had a theatre and a concert hall. It attracted 2 million visitors a year. It's really quite something.
It's lovely.
It's very pretty, isn't it?
That's a really good design, that one.
There are a lot of brackets, because all the buildings on the pier were supported by brackets.
You've got lots of these. I mean, I've seen a few. I can see a dozen from here.
Over there.
Victorian ironwork pieces like these usually sell for around £100, but the fact that they're from the pier could push them up to £150 each.
How much are these being
Individually, they go for 130.
Are you doing discount for bulk?
Yeah, not ridiculous discounts.
£40 each.
No.
One's OK, but I'd really like to buy them all.
Yeah.
Well, my customers would love this stuff, but I've got to buy it at the right price.
Yeah, I understand.
I really have to.
Yeah.
Rachel is no pushover,
I've got a responsibility here. This is going towards our heritage centre.
but Drew just can't make a profit at these prices.
It's great that they're getting the money to do what they want to do. For me, no good.
Pointing out the flaws in the pieces may help.
They're not square, are they? They're all slightly canted
You're right.
to the right,
Yeah.
which a devil of a thing to sell now. They're in pretty bad condition. They've got this unusual Moorish design on there.
That's
with
right.
castings, haven't they?
Yeah.
But Rachel's not biting.
Everything's in really hammered condition, isn't it?
Yes. But, you know, it's quite nice
It's
in the
lovely.
garden,
Yeah, it's a
you
nice
know.
thing.
A few minutes in, and the Ice Maiden shows signs of melting as she takes Drew to some more modern panels. Maybe these are in his price range.
I just want to point these out, because these, I must say, you know, I think compared to a lot of what we've got are actually a little on the ordinary side.
You can see the castings are just nowhere near as good.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
These 20th century pieces are less intricate and therefore less desirable. The most Drew could get is around £200 each.
Not an easy sell. How much?
About 200 each.
£200. Do you want a job? You can come and work for me. If I get all my stuff and leave it out in the open, can I get these prices?
And as Rachel shows Drew around, it gets even worse.
Now, these columns...
Yeah, they're good.
They're lovely, aren't they?
Drew has a similar pair of cast iron pillars for sale at £300.
I sold 4 of these for £1,000.
It's good money.
Yeah.
Undeterred, Rachel keeps offering more unsuitable pieces that are out of his price range.
This is part of one of the 6 octagonal original 1866 kiosks. 1866 was when the pier opened, so anything that was in situ then has got a sort of cachet to
Yes.
it. But, of course, being a pier, it evolved and changed over the years. So quite a bit of the material you'll find isn't actually from 1866. It's from the 1890s or even into the early 20th century.
I'm pretty good at what I do, and I don't think I could sell
No,
that.
really?
No, I'd
Yeah,
be
yeah.
really pushing it.
It's torture for Drew. This stuff is Salvage Hunter gold and only comes up for sale once in a lifetime. Drew knows he has buyers for it. He returns to the panels in the hope that Rebecca may have mellowed.
I do like these, though. I'd be throwing them in the back of the van now if they were just square.
They should mount in effect like that.
Yeah, exactly.
They can just be used for decoration, but if they were square, they would be a very easy seller, and
Yeah,
I'd want to
sure.
buy them all.
Drew thinks he can sell this pair of panels to his Saint-Tropez buyer for around £600.
They're exactly what our guy in France was looking for. Just perfect, exactly what he's after.
But Rachel is standing firm.
You're asking 130 each for these?
200.
£200? Oh, my good God. Still got to sell it to somebody else, so there has to be enough margin in it for that to happen. I don't think they're £200 scrap value, are they?
Oh, no, I'm sure they're
No.
not. No.
I need to buy them at £100. I do.
Yes, I can understand. I can see your,
do.
I can see your problem.
And I try and knock you down again. For sure.
Yeah, I'm sure you would.
I might get lucky and maybe get 250 or 350 for a panel. I really can't see it. I've had hundreds of these things in the past.
But Drew's determined not to leave empty-handed and makes a final offer to Rachel.
Can I buy a pair for 300? Over to you, really.
Well, unfortunately, for you, I can sell these very, very easily. It's a little bit tricky with Drew because, you know, basically he's a dealer, he's selling things on. I mean, I'd love to sell to him, but on the other hand, we are a charity.
Can I buy the best pair I can find for 300?
OK.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Deal?
Yeah, OK.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
All right, let's dig some of these out and find the best ones. Ideally, I want one from one side and one from the other side, so when we put them together, they become... two become one.
Not the biggest haul of his career, but Drew has managed to negotiate a deal for some historic pieces of salvage and hopefully found something else for his new client.
He wanted the older ones, which I actually agree with him, are much more interesting. The detail is finer and they just have got sort of more history attached to them, really.
Thank you, Rachel. That was a
great
pleasure.
It's been a pleasure.
I'm sorry I couldn't buy more, but if I sell those quick, I'll be back for the rest.
Brilliant. Excellent.
Really,
You got my
really
contacts,
absolutely.
yeah.
A successful-ish day. I'd have loved to have filled the van, but I think our new French connection will be really happy with the things that we've found, and they're going to fit in exactly with his sort of building scheme for sure.
Back in Wales, Drew's wife Rebecca is struggling to organise the shipment of 7 tons of salvage to the south of France.
Or the logistics just might be a nightmare. Drew's in Brighton buying, thoroughly enjoying himself, and I've got to organise a very large shipment to Saint-Tropez.
It's going to take the rest of the day and probably tomorrow morning.
Although used to shipping big items, the scale of the order is testing Rebecca's organisational skills to the limit.
How are we going to wrap these? Because otherwise their antlers will fall off, won't they?
We'll have to pallet crate them.
Yeah. Yes, because they're being forklift off the other end.
Yeah.
The biggest nightmare of a shipment of this size is packing. There's a lot of pressure between all of us. And if it fails, I'm probably the first in firing on this line.
Oblivious to the team's challenges, Drew and Julian are keen to find another location to make the Brighton trip worthwhile.
We have got... well, it's an old cinema. It's the oldest cinema. I think she said it's the oldest cinema in Britain.
All right.
Old theatres and cinemas often have unusual pieces. Their research has turned up a place less than a mile from the pier, which has some film reels and memorabilia for sale.
We're heading to see a guy called John, who is the manager of a really old cinema called the Duke of York in Brighton.
The Duke of York Cinema was opened in September 1910, so it's just over 100 years old. It's a single-screen historic cinema. It's the country's oldest operating cinema. The cinema's still going strong, so I think hopefully we'll be here for another 100 years.
There's a room in there that they've not cleared out, and it's full of stuff. I haven't had a lot of cinema stuff. I've had God knows how many cinema seats and things like that. You know, there's stuff I'm comfortable with, and then there's other stuff that I'll get where I'm like, well, I haven't handled it before, but I'll give it a go. The only way I'm going to learn about it is if I buy something. John?
Yes.
Hi
there.
Drew. I've come about the film reels, memorabilia. You've got stuff away?
Welcome. OK, shall we?
Love to. Have a look.
OK, yeah, come along. Yeah, that's where we make up the films, and this is the projection room where we show the films.
Cool. I've never been in one of these places before. This is where the little guy sits. I've always wondered what the view would be like from the little square box up here.
It's not the best seat in the house.
You can't see anything.
So I've got a pile of things here, a collection of different things that have survived the decades. We've got, what do they call those things they put on tires when you're sort of pimping your car out?
Spinners.
Yes.
How do I know that?
You could make these, you could put these on your SUV. And
Yeah,
pimp
we
them
can put
out.
these on our transit van.
Yeah, they look
Cool.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
really
Pimp
sex it up.
my van. What's that thing there?
Whoa, while digging up, it's quite heavy.
Oh, that's cool.
This is an anamorphic adapter. So this would
I
have been...
thought it was one of those. Yeah. Yeah.
And then whenever you wanted to make a film anamorphic, you just lowered it into the lens.
I may be being a bit thick, but what's anamorphic mean?
Well, it just changes the aspect ratio of the film.
Still no better off.
Okay. So, you know, like films sometimes are square, sometimes they're like 16:9, 4:3. You know, sometimes they have the black bars when you watch them on TV.
Yeah.
So this kind of just puts it in the right ratio to the film.
I see. Okay,
So
it sizes it.
It sizes it correctly,
okay.
exactly. Made in England, back when things were made in England.
properly, yeah, in England.
I do have these interesting lenses which we dug out the other day. They are lenses that you put on depending on what ratio the film's in.
They're beautifully made. I don't know if I've gotten out for any of this stuff, to be honest with you. It's a really difficult stuff to move.
You can see that's quite...
Pardon
mon affaire. It's a
trailer.
French film.
Curzon Film Distributors.
That's probably about 30 years old.
Okay. You can see little bits in the bottom of it, can't you, of the... It might be a French dirty film. It's a blue movie.
It's possible.
OK, we'll take that.
We do have a... 5 of those, please.
Yeah. Another cardboard cutouts. Do you have those?
Yeah, we've got a few of those, actually.
Great, yeah, I'd love to see those.
OK, yeah.
Just smells of old cinema, doesn't it?
That's because it is.
People don't really know what I want because I buy very unusual and odd things. So I always ask, is there anywhere else I can look?
We had these made for our anniversary. They kind of lived around the cinema for a while.
I know somebody would want that. So what are you doing with these? Are these to go?
Yeah, we could move those. We don't really have any use for them anymore, so...
Movie star cutouts like these are not rare, but can still sell for around £30 each.
If you want to take the whole lot,
Yeah.
you do them for £30, all 3 of them.
Fine, yeah, we'll take those.
Yeah?
Yeah, for sure. I want him in the office. That's fab, isn't it? What a cool thing. Then all of a sudden, pop, you see this thing, and I just think, I've got to have that. It's great looking.
So this will have been probably one of the first speakers installed during the sound era. You can see there, made in England. We believe that was probably one of the earliest speakers that was installed for the early talkies, as they used to call them.
The fact that this is from Britain's oldest continuously used cinema will add value. Drew is confident he could sell this piece for around £220, but can he get it at the right price?
Or is this something you can let go now?
Yeah, I mean, it's just sitting up there,
Yeah.
gathering dust. So should I say what I have in mind? And
Yeah,
tell
sure,
me
go
if I'm
ahead.
way
You
off?
never know. If I fall over, you'll soon find out.
Okay. Well, I'd say for something like this, £150.
It's really grimy.
Really make it, you can, polish
I
it.
don't want to go too mad with it.
Yeah.
And my initial reaction was like, well, I really want that, but
Yeah.
it's a bit too much.
Yeah.
I'd be happy to pay 100 for it.
Okay.
There will be some geeky guy who wants that for his collection. I bought it, somebody else will. Obviously, I'm just going straight to this now.
Yeah, sure. I don't know what this... I mean, I know that this was used to tell people when the film was going to finish. So rather than a working clock, it would have just, it would say film finishes at...
And it would just be set permanently.
Exactly,
like...
and you just set it depending on when the film would finish. You set it.
Okay.
And the style of the numbers is...
I think this is probably 30s as well. The font type is quite odd, isn't it? Yeah, 8's almost like a digital 8. It's a strange one.
It's kind of Art Deco, very modern, I suppose.
Yeah. I quite like it, though. That's okay. Which you could probably get. It's got the remnants of some lights in here, isn't it?
Some electric...
Quite basic. Okay. Well, I like that a lot.
Clocks are always popular, and one with provenance like this could easily sell for £200 once restored.
What sort of price do you want to go for on that?
I'd say something like £50.
Somebody's messed about with the back of it. The insides are missing. It's got paint all over it. Some of the lettering is flaking away, so it needs work. Yeah, spot on. That's exactly what I'd want to pay for it. So there, you're dead right there. That's that. I wouldn't want to go any more than that. Somebody will love it. We won't make a fortune on it, but we'll certainly fix it. Come on, Audrey, sort your life out. Ugh. We'll make sure this goes to somebody who really appreciates it. It's not really about making money with something like this. I think the speaker, if it works, we'll set it up and I can shout at the lads from the privacy of my office instead of bringing them in to get shouted at. I love the place and thanks for letting us in.
Thanks for coming by. Thanks for your purchases.
All right, cheers, John. See you. Bye-bye. Right.
So we sold a few things, and I think we got a good price for them. I mean, they're going to be sitting in our cupboard anyway, so I'm happy for them to find a new home and make some money.
A chance drop-in at an independent cinema has made the disappointing haul from the pier a little easier to bear, and the team back home a little easier to face. Along with the regular team, Rebecca has roped in daughter Charlotte to help with the Saint-Tropez order, and she's about to get a glamorous gift.
That's for you, darling.
Is it?
Yes, for your room. I thought you'd like it because you're
thank
such a big Ord fan. I thought you'd want that.
You can go next to my other Ord picture.
Yeah. 20 quid.
Oh, look at that.
Do you like that?
I love that.
Heroin.
I love my gift so much. I've always been an Audrey Hepburn fan. And last year, Drew bought me the box set of all the Audrey Hepburn films for my birthday. And so I sort of always loved her.
And then we've got
I love that so much.
Hitch.
Excellent.
Oh,
Gosh, she's young.
Charlie Chaplin. And Hitch goes in the office. They're off Brighton Pier.
Are they?
Yeah. She had loads of them, but the local celebrities paying too much for them,
Oh,
so,
right, okay,
we had to start paying too much for them if we wanted any of them.
Drew may only have brought back 2 items earmarked for the buyer in France, but no other dealer has them, or the future access Drew now has.
So we went to a cinema in Brighton, and we got this. He said that the fingers would point to when the performance was, and it never worked.
He's saying it was a light box, just with the time.
Yeah, and you just turned it to where, the cinema things start. I think it was a working one. So we'll put a new motor in the back, just a little battery-powered motor in the back of it. We can't do much more with it. And strip all this, Gav. Polish it. Yeah, the whole thing. So that's really good. How cool is that?
How cool is that?
Really sculptural, great-looking thing. It's just really cool. And I just thought,
It's so
it's
decorative.
a brilliant-looking thing,
Isn't it?
isn't it? It's just fab, and I don't really want much done to that, just to clean. Look at his face. You've got to sell this.
I can sell anything.
Yeah.
Gavin specialises in restoration, and he's usually the first to get his hands on what Drew brings back. In the 10 years he's worked there, he's seen it all.
There's probably 2 or 3 layers of paint on this. Don't want to take too much off it, just a bit of the excess. It's quite cool, yeah, it's quite decorative. Somebody will have it for the house or garden. I don't think you could hang it on a wall.
I think these will be easy to sell because they're quite in demand. They won't be around for long. Difficult to deliver, but easy to sell.
A crucial part of Mark's job is to get things photographed and on the company website as soon as possible.
Oh, that looks really good.
Drew bends his ear about the encounter with Rachel.
I was had over by a very posh lady.
Did she flutter her eyelid today?
No, not at all. No, she was just very, very good. She was a very persuasive salesman.
But soon all is forgotten as the gamble pays off.
I've emailed the new client, sent him pictures of the images, and he's going to buy them. Ideal, just wish it was always that easy. There's going to be more work for the guys back here, loading these up. They've got 7 to 10 tons of stuff to load as it is.
The order is good news, but it does mean that the shop is looking decidedly empty.
He's taken a big chunk of it, so I've got to get back out on the road today. I've got to start filling the shop up again. Does everybody know what they're doing? We've got this shipment going to France. Is it all sorted?
Everything's sorted.
Yeah.
Sure?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Done?
It'll go like clockwork. Don't worry
Really?
about it. Yeah.
Yeah, fine. With an order like this, time is of the essence. We cannot let this guy down. What I have to make sure is, while I'm away, the guys deal with him properly and the order goes out successfully. Everything's breakable and irreplaceable, so make sure all of it is packed to the 8th degree. I want everything just completely covered. There's some big, heavy bits of stone going on, isn't there, Gav? So you'll be in charge of that and the forklift and making sure that all goes on safely. So just make sure, no problems. Important customer, so look after him.
We will.
Yeah? OK, great. So anything you need, give me a call.
Drive carefully.
All right, great. Come on then, Jules, let's get going. Cheers.
See you again.
Good afternoon, Drew Pritchards. Oh, hello. Are you phoning from France? Have we still got the big round stone ball? Yeah, we've got that. The current situation with the order is it's growing. The freight company that's delivering the goods to Saint-Tropez, they're supposed to be here tomorrow.
I hope they don't get here till midday.
Drew and Julian are on their way to a disused former airfield in Fife. Drew is hoping to find big industrial fittings that he knows are popular with his interior design clients.
It's an old airfield. He's got a load of benches and lights,
All right.
the same as some we've got in stock, and says, can you come down? I've got a large quantity of them in an old airfield. And Jesus Christ, look at the size of this place.
Just a 5-minute job.
Oh my God, that's fantastic.
Once again, it's a great salvage opportunity. If only Drew and Julian could remember the name of the man they're supposed to be meeting.
Bob.
Bob.
God, it's huge. Hi, I'm Drew.
I'm Bob. Cheers.
Hey, look, Julian. You all right?
You all right?
You've got some stuff to show us. To be honest, I don't know where you're going to start. The place is massive. It's incredible.
So, once they found Bob, the search begins.
For all the planes.
It's in.
Wow, it's great. It's completely untouched, isn't it?
Yep.
They've done nothing to the place. With a site this size, we need to quickly identify what's here. So, quick whiz round, see quickly what we can find, and then try and do a deal. This is where I feel completely comfortable. I've been wandering around buildings like this since I was a child. Everything's of massive scale. There's loads of stuff lying around. For me, it's got everything I could spend all week here. Oh, Jesus, look at all this stuff. Ugh. Can that go on the list?
Yep.
I like it, and I'd like to buy it, but in some ways, I'm thinking, well, for like the £10 I'm going to give them, and for the 30 quid I might be able to sell it for, maybe, is it best left where it is? And maybe you should just leave some things, and as soon as that's gone, nobody knows that was the mess hall. You've got a lot of these green enamelled shades everywhere. These lights, I do like them. I mean, I've had one of these green industrial lamps in my hallway at home for 15 years now, but over the last few years, they've become incredibly popular.
Industrial lights like these are in vogue with restaurant and bar designers, and Drew can easily sell them for £225 each.
Who do we talk to about buying them?
The owner, Willie Robertson.
OK, so what do? Just give him a ring?
Not what Drew wants to hear. Dealing through a third party is far from ideal, but he pushes on in the hope of landing treasures the boss is willing to part with.
Oh, these are great.
Rustic, shabby chic pieces like these 1950s benches are very much in vogue and could easily fetch £180 for the pair.
They're great. They're nice little benches, you know, from the mess hall maybe. And then what I liked about them was the colour, was that original old green paint they've used throughout the whole place. These are for sale?
Yep. I've just been told to let you see everything.
Everything? OK.
Yep.
Right. To be honest, they're going to have to be just cheap because there's 2 or 3 that are OK. The rest are beyond hope.
The good news is that everything seems to be for sale. So now it's a case of talking to Bob's boss, Wally.
Go on the phone. If I can have a chat with him, we'll just see if we can do a deal. The face-to-face meetings are much, much better. You can talk to people and gain some trust, and they'll trust you, you trust them, see how you get on. So, no, I just don't like doing it this way, but, again, you just got to do it. Roll with it, see what happens.
Drew's wanting to speak to you about prices. Here he is.
Okay. Wally.
Willie.
Yeah. Hi, Wally. I've been around and had a good look at everything. I think, what's it called, the workshops?
The workshop.
There's a workshop around the other side. There's 2 different types of lamp in there. If I say £25 for the larger ones in there and £10 each for the little ones. OK, and then there's some benches, there's some green benches. So £25 per bench for the good ones. I'll have a sift through. Not all of them are any good, but I'll take the ones that are OK. How's that? Yep, lovely, great, lovely, thanks, cheers, bye-bye. Yep, done deal, happy.
Thank you.
Yeah, so you said you ought to give us a hand.
Right,
Okay.
no problem.
All right, cheers. Strangely, talking to the guy on the phone, it was really easy, didn't have to worry about it, didn't need to get stressed about it, it was fine, he was just like, yeah, prices, yeah, that's okay, fine, and we did the deal. Just a good pair of benches, you know, and the colour just makes them. If it ain't rusty gold, it's rusty poo. There you go. And if you find any more,
Just give us a shout.
give us a shout.
No problem.
Cheers. Thanks, Bob. Bye-bye. It's huge, isn't it? You could land planes here.
You could. God, do you know, I wonder if anyone's ever thought of that?
Back at the shop in North Wales, the team is frantically putting the last pieces of the France shipment together before the lorry arrives to take all the architectural gems to their new home in Saint-Tropez.
He's a new customer to us, so we need to get it right.
The worst case scenario of an order this size going abroad, breaking an item.
Whoa. Benches, stone corbels, doors, doorways, bronze stags, deers, does, geese, everything. I ain't gonna fit. Gonna need a bigger boat.
This is probably the largest order we've had to deal with going to one location. Hopefully we sent what he'd asked for.
Knackered now.
Everything's on board.
I'm glad we sold the stock. I'm a bit worried that the showroom's going to look empty.
Drew better come back with a full van so we can carry on selling.
Still in Scotland and well aware of the need to bring back new stock, Drew takes a detour to a local legend in the house clearance business, Steptoe's Yard in Montrose.
We're going to go and see Peter. He's just got barn after barn of junk and stuff and bits of this, that and the other and tat.
We opened this place 6 years ago. What we normally sell is, well, everything including the kitchen sink. Anything that we think there may be a profit in.
So, Peter is an ex-farmer who has packed it in the BSE crisis and started doing house clearances and selling his stuff from his shed down here. So, hang on, is this it? Hi. Drew.
Peter.
Hey, how you doing? It's Jules. Hiya.
How you doing?
We've come to have a look through your massive amount of stuff.
As long as you brought plenty of money with you.
Plenty of money. We've got money to spend. Look at that. Oh, my good God. So this must be one of the biggest clearance places in Scotland.
From what I hear, there's no other place like it at the moment.
The place is just massive. It's overwhelming. There's so much stuff in here, you can't really think straight.
We do a combination of everything, just source it from wherever we can get it, you know?
Yeah. Just playing the numbers game, there's got to be something here for me. So what made you start doing this?
It was accidental, actually. We were doing up the house. I decided to start buying some furniture and, you know, odds and ends for the house. I bought bits and pieces, and then the wife said, oh, that doesn't match that. And there was a chap that I knew at the time, and he says, why don't you have a sort of garage sale?
Yeah.
So we did that for one day, and it's never stopped since. That's 6 years now, roughly.
I should imagine you get every antique dealer in the local area picking over this place in every 5 minutes.
Well, they do come on a fairly regular basis.
Looking around a shop that's open to the public is far from ideal for Drew, as all the best stuff will have gone. But just as he's about to give up, he spots a gem, or more accurately, a pair of gems that everyone else seems to have overlooked.
These doors here.
Those are what I was going to be keeping for a room in the house. I never used them yet, actually, but that's why I've got them hidden.
Didn't hide them very well. I saw them straight away.
Ah, well, I saw a bit of that.
Early 19th century oak, gun-stocked, astral glazed double doors. Really, really nice thing.
Antique doors command a premium. This extremely rare Regency pair could fetch around £1,000.
So these are for sale. Must be if they're in the shop.
Well, if you offer me
Where do you want to be? What sort of
the right price for them.
What do you want for them?
Well, you're looking at a minimum of 500, I would think. Well, I think they'd be pretty reasonable at 500.
It's a little bit too much. It's a little bit too much. I like them. They're good.
If you're going to be paying for them, you see, it's you that's saying they're too much, not me.
I can bid you on them.
Well, if you make me a sensible bid.
A sensible bid.
I might be willing to sell them.
What can we do? 300?
No, you'd be a bit low at that.
Right. So where do you want to be then? Because I'd like to buy those. That's the period item I'm looking for.
Well, if you're going to be buying a few things, I'll give them about the 350.
350.
All right?
That's great.
But provided you're going to be buying a few other things.
I'll be buying a few more things, I'm sure.
Very good.
That's great.
Despite finding those amazing doors, Drew is convinced Peter is holding out on him and employs Salvage Hunter rule number 1. Always ask to go to the places that are not open to the public.
Do you want to show us where the good stuff is? I've got cash money to spend. I'd rather see the good stuff.
Well, I don't know what you would class as good stuff. Everybody's idea of good stuff
You'll
is
have
different.
somewhere locked up, won't you?
There are some other stuff, some other...
That's where I want to go. Come
places.
on, lead on.
And sure enough, it's just seconds before the hunter spots his prey.
Nice pair of period bowls.
Yeah.
Really nice and original.
Bowling was hugely popular in the late 19th and early 20th century. This pair are almost certainly over 100 years old and made from lignum vitae, a very dense, hard wood, and could easily roll out a price of £145.
What would you want for these?
Open to sensible offers.
Oh, you give us a clue on this one. Come on, you know what everything cost you.
Oh, I'll do them for 25 for you if you want.
25 is fine?
That's a keen price for you.
That's a keen price, that's fine, I'll take those. I'm not arguing with you on that one.
I don't want you going away complaining that things are too expensive for you.
No, they're nice, pretty. All right, so let's have a look at this door. Jules just emptied it. What state's it in?
The door itself is in pretty good condition, but it's the glass. The glass is damaged.
I'm not bothered about the sensor section, but that is a real bugger, isn't it? Yeah. This is another good example of the gun stock door. This is wider here, then it becomes narrower towards the top there. And then you've got the maximum amount of glazing space. Nice, elegant proportions to the door, but it's also an extremely strong door. That door is as good today as it was then, as when it was new.
This internal door needs a lot of work, but if restored, could bring around £250.
So it's just down to price. What can you ever go at it for us?
How about 70 quid?
Well, with something like that, it's just how cheap can you be? I was going to say, to be honest, I was thinking 50 quid and that's it.
Well, I can probably do a deal. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll do it for the 50 for you, seeing that you've bought the other one.
OK,
all right.
£50. I'll take a chance on it, £50.
So
good door, nice period handle. Oh, what's this? Shop fitting. Have you got the base panel to it?
No.
The base piece?
No, it's just as you see it.
It's in a bit of a state, isn't it?
It's not that bad, actually.
I do like buying shop fittings.
Well, there you go.
What are we looking at for this, then? What do you want for it?
What I want and what I get might be two different things.
It is.
I would be hoping for a couple of hundred for it.
A couple of hundred. No, I'm going to have to leave it. It's good, and the price is right, to be honest, Peter, but I'm going to have to leave it. It's just got too many problems, too much work.
Well,
it needs a side, it needs a base, it needs glass to it. So by the time I've done that, there's no money left in it. Shame. Yeah, they're good.
Butler sinks originated in London and, unlike their counterparts made in Belfast, have no overflow holes, as it was believed this would encourage people to waste the limited fresh water. Clearly not a problem in Ireland. These rare examples could easily fetch around £250 each.
Before I get too excited about them, how much are they?
You want one set or two?
Say for the pair and all of the stands.
How much over 100 will you give me?
105, and they're a good period thing again, and they're on the stands, you know, so you can put them together in runs, and they look good.
You'll be looking probably about the 130 mark.
They're more or less all matching, and the price is right. They are cheap. Yeah, that'll be okay.
Drew's really looking for big-scale items to take back home, and Peter may have just the ticket.
We've got in here, from what I can see, a very big
shop counter.
Shop counter. Condition's not great.
It's just the way I got it.
Yeah. How much are we looking at for this thing?
500.
500. Things to do already. I've got. It's good. Just needs too much work. I need a bargain.
This mid-20th century shop counter is something that Drew can easily sell. An example like this could sell for £500, even before restoration.
I'll give you a bargain.
It needs to be. It's not at 500 quid, it isn't. It's got loads going for it, but it's got a lot wrong with it. The mirror in that end's broken. All the sliding doors are missing off the back bar one.
I'm not selling you the bits that aren't there.
I know,
I'm only selling you the bits that are there.
I don't like doing this moany bit, but I have to with this. This has got a bit of work, and £200. Take it away. Up to you.
Give me $250.
No, that's it. I've got to be £200. I've got to be hard on you. I'm sorry. I've been dead fair, haven't you, all day?
As long as you don't ask me to carry it out, then. All right?
We'll need a hand to get it out. We'll need a hand to get it out. At £200, I've got a bargain, and I'm happy.
I know you've got a bargain there.
Yeah?
OK?
Yeah, deal?
Fine. There you go.
I've still got a bit of work, but I'm happy with that. That's fine.
I'm very happy he came in by, because I think he'll come back again, and he's got his van loaded up pretty well. He was quite easy to deal with. I could have been a lot harder with him, I think.
All in all, we bought a few pieces. We got a decent amount of stuff, but what we did get needs a lot of work. So we'll see. At the end of a long day, I'm completely knackered, to be honest.
Well,
but we did well.
That's what happens when you spend money, you see.
That's good. No, I did well. I'm happy with what I had.
That's good.
I'm happy with what I had.
I'll
Thanks for your help. You and your guys were great.
OK.
Thank you.
We will see you again,
Hopefully we'll see you again.
And give us a bell. You've got my number now, so you know what we're after.
Right.
OK.
You're not too knackered to drive?
No, I'm fine.
Drew and Julian arrived back at the shop the next morning, exhausted but happy to have brought back a van full of stuff to replace the Saint-Tropez order.
Success?
Yeah, we got stuff. And
Full.
Hallelujah.
Hey!
Yeah, come on, Gavin, lift it.
Come on, Gavin.
Come on.
Shaper.
Well, you're with the trolley.
Going down. Sweet.
Oh, hello. Very nice.
Do you like to handle them? Feel the weight. Feel the. They're lignum vitae.
Yeah.
1937.
Look, do you like my balls, Ollie?
Not been used much.
They're lovely. Would you like to touch them?
Not particularly, no.
I wouldn't devour you.
No.
They're lovely and smooth.
The Air Force, these were literally, right, they were in the mess hall, and the mess hall was being used as a pigsty. They see that there?
I just touched that.
Pig poo. And if it's not pig poo, it's pigeon. These might need a bit of a wipe.
Just a bit.
Just a little bit of a dust. They'd never been down since the day the hangars were built.
Did you dig them up? It's nice.
There. Wow.
Excellent.
Wow, wow, wow.
Wow.
Look at the
Pear,
glass.
all original glass.
Lovely.
Undamaged. Drew, they're stunning. Really lovely. That was a long, long trip. But thank goodness he came back with stock, because otherwise he would have come back, you know, quite deflated. But you can see the sparkle in his eyes. He knew he'd got very nice, as he calls, treasures.
Now I've got it. Shift it. I need to sell this stuff. I've spent thousands this week, and I need to turn that money over now. Gavin, Julian, Mark, Alex, we're going to have to pull in to get this work done this week. How it is with me is, the minute I get something, I want to sell it straight away.
Industrial lights at the moment are really big news, especially having such a run. That is, you know, that's a really, really, really good find.
I'm just burnishing these. It takes it from something that looks like that to that. Then we put some lacquer over it, stop it re-rusting. Look a lot better than they did.
Yes, they've got little air gun pellet shots, so someone's come into the hangar and used them as target practice. Which is great. There's obviously not a lot to do in Scotland.
While the items from Scotland are restored and photographed, Drew gets the word out about his exciting new purchases, and it's not long before his customers begin to bite.
Hello. It's going as a display cabinet for designer menswear.
stay there, is it? No. These are the benches from Crail Airfield. We've scraped the pig fall out off them, and they've dried out, and they've had some repair work and a clean. The colour is still good. The paint's still the most attractive thing.
The Regency doors that Drew bought from Scotland have been sent to French polisher Alex, just a few miles up the road.
It's not the money to spend on them, it's how far I want them to go so they still retain the charm that they have now.
Well, Drew's brought this in. First thing we'll do is strip it down, clean up all the timber, do the repairs.
I've been using Alex for about 10 years. Just perfect. He does things how I like them doing.
French polishing is the application of many layers of shellac to achieve a high gloss. Shellac is a resin secreted by female beetles and is the same material used to make early gramophone records. The process was popular in the Victorian era, but fell out of fashion in the early 1920s.
Well, these look fantastic, don't they? That's not the colour they would have been in the day. They'd have been much, much darker and heavily polished. I think the Regency, would you go along with that?
Yeah.
So about 1820?
Yeah.
Yeah. I want them to look sort of really good condition but used. Just the style.
And the proportions.
Yeah, the gun stocking on the door, this, the bead, everything. It's all right, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what I think, anyway. Just literally want them on the website now.
Within hours of going online, the doors are snapped up by one of his regular customers.
They're going to some friends of mine down in London, Retruvius, Adam and Maria. They will really use them to their best effect. Maria is a brilliant interior designer. Really, really interesting what she does. Very unusual, incredibly stylish.
What we'll probably do is not have them hinged, but actually have them as sliding doors, dividing what's going to be a kind of new, very relaxed dining space. So on my side of the business, I look at different buildings from different eras. So we've got an old priory building going right through. We're probably dealing with every kind of era. The journeys that everyone goes on to find unusual bits and bobs, to find materials. You know, the 1 minute you can be in a sort of rather enormous, amazing kind of smart country house, and the next you can be, well, you know, up to your knees.
I'm really happy because I know that those doors are going to the right person, the right place, and they can look nothing other than stunning, really.
It's time for Drew to get back out on the road and for the whole cycle of salvage hunting and selling to begin again.